Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing Ride 4, and today is the day we finally become a Harley Davidson test rider. This one took a while to do because I literally never use Harley Davidsons in the game, but for the time being we are using the Street Rod, which is a pretty solid bike actually. I've got a world record with this bike before, I do believe. I think that's now actually soon been beaten, but we're here in the Virginia Raceway circuit, which is a nice circuit, but unfortunately it's not the variant I like. I'm not a fan of this particular variant of the track. I just don't know, I just don't tend to enjoy it as much as the other variant. The one where we did the DrAce time trial challenge for, that's a superb track. Very much enjoy that. Some really tight apexes to nail and some tight corners to do in general. This one being a very tight corners and tight track, but just unfortunately not the most interesting of bikes to use. I don't think the Harley Davidsons in the game are that enjoyable, but for full completion I had to do the test riding duties, and I do actually like doing these ones because you get the different challenges that you don't get to do anymore on Ride 4, such as maybe a one-time trial or getting to a certain sector in a certain amount of speed, or even of course the overtaking goals, which are very, very easy, but I do kind of miss those because I'm so far ahead in Ride 4, I just don't really have those opportunities to do anymore. But that is a lap time complete, and now we move on to Laguna Seca, where we have to do another time trial objective, and this time with the live wire machine, the electric bike that sounds interesting. It doesn't sound as good as a normal bike does, of course, but I guess that's the problem with electric motorbikes. But if it's good for the environment, then why not? And I'll tell you what, the bike's quite nippy. It's not the best bikes you're going to use, but it's not bad. It's quite nippy in its own way. And rocking it around Laguna Seca was actually quite fun. I don't think I'd use this bike ever again. Maybe once or twice if it came up, but I quite liked it for this particular objective. And I think the part about Ride 4 that I really enjoy the most is the career mode. How it gives you a chance to use bikes that you probably never would touch. Because now I'm doing the time trial challenges and doing a bit of the career mode as well, I am featuring more or less the same bikes or similar bikes. When you have to do a career mode and they tell you this is the bike you've got to use, kind of pushes you to use different bikes, so I do like that with Ride 4 career mode. And as mentioned a few days ago, I just reached my 250th Ride 4 video, so it certainly explains how much I enjoy this particular game. So I have a massive wheelie going into the corkscrew on board the live wire. That was a little bit scary actually. It was quite fun, but a little bit scary just the same. But so we go into the right-hander now, very tight to the apex if we can. Not tight as I would have wanted for turn 10, but we still stride it as we get very close to the rumble strip, and now firm on the brakes, chucking a little bit of rear brake, not too much in, so we're going nice and tight to the apex turn 11. I'm pretty certain we've nailed this objective, but across the line we will go any moment now, and it looks like we've got the job done. So now moving on to the next objective, and that is going to be here in the Road America circuit, in the night, on board the live wire, and we need to pass 15 riders within 2 minutes and 15 seconds. You guys already know I'm going to gold this one without too much issues, but we'll go around this track and see what we can produce. Of course, on the live wire, get a little bit of slipstream here and try and dive out the way of the other riders. Of course, in these particular moments, they are very, very slow AI as we go on the right-hand side for turn 3. Just approaching 10 past 10, so you can see how dark it is here in the Road America circuit. As we now bring on the acceleration. One little gripe I will mention is I'm disappointed there isn't really a special Harley Davidson livery for the rider. Usually on some of the other ones like the Yamaha, the Suzuki, you get a certain leathers that look really, really nice. Sadly, you just get a black coloured livery in the Harley Davidson one. But I guess that sums it up for Harley Davidsons in general. But onto the left-hand side we'll go, going a little bit wide onto the rumble strip, and then underneath the Corvette bridge. Going onto the left-hand side for turn 6, not quite able to go around the outside just yet. The slower rider got into our way there, but we're now onto the right-hand side for turn 7. Nice and tight to the apex. Watch out, I'm going to try and go around the outside. That was a bit close to the grass there. Surprised we didn't just touch the grass and end up sliding off. But we're now going the left-hander for turn 8. Running it a little bit deep, trying to cut across there and give him plenty of space at the same time. But into the carousel, there is a very, very slow rider into the carousel. Looked like someone who was scared of getting the bike on the right-hand side. Just didn't fancy it. Wanted to sit there and go rather slow. Oh, and just noticed now, this is the kink circuit as well. So we'll try and go either on the inside to then chuck it to the right-hand side. Is that going to be possible? Bit of contact made there. Oh no, I think he went down. I think we're giving the big don't argue, and I think he went down. On a objective-based thing, that these guys are just having a track day right now. They're not actually trying to put in ridiculous lap times, but someone comes past on the live wire and just throws it up on the inside. That was ridiculous. That was absurd. But we'll go around the contact again. Oh, goodness me. This one has gone heck to a handbasket as we go around the outside of another rider. 9 riders have passed already. Excuse me, 11 riders have been passed so far. So the next one will give us the silver. And we still have 45 seconds remaining. So this straight alone should be enough for us to get the 15 passes that we need to get the gold. In fact, we might have a little bit more to do. Maybe turn 1, turn 2 will get the objective. But for the time being, I'm rather enjoying doing this particular track day again. It's been a while since I've done something like this. And going against the really slow riders was actually a bit challenging, as you've seen 2 riders get decimated on this particular circuit on board the live wire. But now onto the right hand side, nice and tight to the apex, bringing on the acceleration. We will try and get past the next rider upon the exit of turn 2 in just a moment. So on the right hand side we will go, excuse me, turn 3, apparently I can't count, as we now bring on the acceleration, dive past him, and there you go, job done. So now all those objectives are complete, it's time for a good old-fashioned race. And we've got the Virginia Raceway circuit, 5 laps on board the live wire here in the wet on the shorter variant, my particular favourite variant, and what we're going to tackle right now. So off the line we went, we're going to try and just absolutely decimate the pack here. I want to chuck in the most fastest lap times I can possibly do on board the live wire and just really push it to its absolute limit. So let's see what we can produce now with this electric motorcycle. So onto the left hand side we will go. We'll have to be a little bit more careful now because the track is wet. It's drying. I don't know how quick it will dry, and we're on stock tyres, so I guess either or doesn't really matter to me right now. But onto the left hand side, onto the right, in control and in a good amount of lean angle there, even for the live wire. It's actually not a bad motorcycle, this. Maybe I was a little bit too harsh on it earlier. It's not bad. But as I mentioned earlier, I still don't think I'll actually use it ever again, unless it comes up in a DrAce time trial challenge. In fact, I'm going to write that down. Maybe it will do eventually. Well, now on to the right hand side. Watch out for that cone there that got a little bit whacked into. Have a taste of my front tyre. As we go on the left hand side for turn 11, the track will continue to dry. I don't know how quick it dries on Ride 4. Sometimes it's really quick, and then sometimes it doesn't dry at all. So I guess we'll find out as we cross the line for the next lap. But for lap 1, 1.5 seconds clear from the fellow British rider, Alvin Finch. And there is a small patch of dry coming up now. I don't know how to even pronounce that. I guess it would be drying rather than a small patch of dry, because that doesn't really make sense. But bringing on the acceleration down for the back straight, we'll probably reach around 115, 120 miles an hour. No, it's maxing out at 110, 111, 112. That was the most it could produce, so we would usually fly down this particular back part, but unfortunately the live wire decided it didn't want to go any more than that. But onto the right hand side, there's a rider actually trying to get up on the inside, and he's pushed me wide. I couldn't even turn in there. Alvin Finch wanted nothing of it, and now we're on the back foot. Ladies and gentlemen, we are on the back foot. Alvin Finch in the lead, Michael D'Angelo in second, and now it's time for us to fight back. Which bike are those on? Which bike are these guys on right now? Is it? It is. I thought I could hear that street rod. It sounds so loud, so meaty. Could say the opposite for the live wire, can't you? It doesn't sound like anything. It's pathetic sounding compared to the street rod, but we'll try and get a bit of a second wind here and chase them down. 1.5 seconds was the advantage we had on that back straight. Alvin Finch opened the gas on the street rod and just decimated us as we completely annihilate all of those cones. I'm pretty much doing that for fun now. I don't even know if you can do that without crashing, but it looks like you can. So we go on the right hand side for turn 12. We'll begin to pursue Alvin Finch. We're getting closer and closer here. We'll have a lunge, probably going into the final couple of corners. I'm not entirely sure. Wow, look how... look at the acceleration we put on there. We were sliding the rear of this live wire. I didn't even know it could do that. But so far, so good. Going into the hog pen, we'll be in the slipstream of the street rod. Let's see what speed the street rod's got. I hate how they do that. I hate how they do that on Ride 4. You go past them and they just completely avoid you. That's probably why the AI is so slow. Hopefully they will improve that for the next ride game, but our gap is hovering, it's teetering, it's oscillating at 1 second and a bit. And there he is, Alvin Finch up into the lead for the horseshoe. Ooh, good job I put a bit of acceleration just to get away from Michael D'Angelo as we dive up on the inside of Alvin Finch. Chase me if you want to, pal, because we are now into the lead on board this Harley Davidson live wire. Nice and tight to the apex, ran it a little bit too deep for my liking. Onto the rumble strip we go, and now onto the left hand side for the left hook. Going on to the right hand side, why isn't this corner called right hook? I will never know. And we'll now go on to the right-hand side once again for turn 6 for the snaky part of the Virginia Raceway Circuit South course. So it's the North course, I can't even remember. But we are 2.8 seconds quicker than the previous lap time, so pretty good so far on board the live wire. As the track dries, you know we're only going to get quicker and quicker. And of course, stock tyres, dry circuits, wet circuits, pretty good for all situations really. I'm keen to see whether stock tyres on a drying circuit would be better than going for the rain tyres and trying to hold out. It's a shame we can't really pick the conditions in that way, but I guess I'll try and figure it out for a video in the future, because I'm also keen to try that myself. But now onto the left hand side for 17, onto the right hand side for the Hog Pen. We are pretty much setting ourselves up for victory contention here, as we'll get across the line in a moment's time for the penultimate lap time. And of course guys, if you want to see more Ride 4 content, let me know in the comments section down below what you want to see next. I do have to do those top 10 videos we mentioned to quite a while ago, just still trying to produce all the content I can and add those to it. They take a lot longer to edit and record, so that's why they don't get to come up as much as often as I would have wanted to do. As we slide the rear going into the horseshoe, I kind of stuttered and messed my words up there because I totally forgot about that sliding into turn 1, just trying to make things a little bit more interesting and a bit more exciting with the live wire in these drying conditions. But as always guys, if you do want to see more Ride 4 content, let me know. And also subscribe as well, because that's the best chance of seeing all of the DrAce content that I do produce. Of course, videos come every day, so definitely stick around for more. Also as well, just to mention, we will be doing more live streams as well, because I believe you guys very much enjoyed them. And I did a poll a few days ago, and I gave you guys the option of how much live streams you'd want to see a month, and I was actually blown away by the response that you guys wanted to see a heck of a lot more live streams from me, so I was quite touched by that. So I'll definitely be doing a lot more live streams in the near future, so stick around for them as well. We'll be doing more online races for Ride 4, MotoGP, maybe even MXGP as well, as we slide it into the roller coaster once more, getting a little bit out of shape here. That is a problem with myself sometimes with Ride 4. If I get it into the front and I start getting a little bit, maybe concentration starts lacking, or a little bit bored from leading all the races so much, I'll chuck in a few extra rear brake slides and a few wheelies here and there, but sometimes that can lead to disaster. But I don't know, for Ride 4 the AI just isn't competitive enough, so I tend to lose a little bit of concentration and maybe a bit of interest sometimes, so I do start to pull out some tricks. Let's see if we can get it going into turn 1 again. This time not as wild though. I don't want to be doing it just as bad as we did in the previous lap where we went for the major slide, but this will be the final lap of this wonderful circuit on board the live wire. And of course this will be our final lap before we are officially known as a Harley Davidson test rider within Ride 4. So if you're still watching the video at this point, major props to you and thank you for sticking around so long. But I have a question for you guys. Which is your favourite test riding duties on Ride 4? Is it the Harley Davidson? Is it something else? Let me know in the comments section down below. I can say with a hand on my heart, the Harley Davidson was definitely the worst one out of the bunch. It was not as interesting as the others, if I'm truly honest with you. We used the same 2 bikes literally all the way through it. That was it. So let me know in the comment section down below as what your favourite test riding duties were. And of course the leathers that you get with the Yamaha one and the Honda etc. and the other ones were really good. The Harley Davidson one is very bland to say the least, but I guess you already get Harley Davidson leathers in the game, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But we are actually faster on this last lap. We are going to be 0.2 of a second quicker. As we get across the line in this final corner, we will see if we improve the lap time from a 1:32.439 to something else. So bringing on the acceleration, we actually reached 113 miles an hour there. Put that in the history books. Across the line we will go, and we got a 1:32 something. It was a 1:32.028, so a very fast lap time, if I do say so myself. But upon that note guys, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, let me know in the comments section down below. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and also subscribe as well for more DrAce content. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Ciao for now. Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.